We have a new hero trailer. So specifically, we are looking at Kiriko, and we will go over each of her abilities as they're illustrated here. Here, they're demonstrating her wall climb. She's running on the roofs, but that's really to symbolize her wall climb, I'm sure. She's got that as a passive, so someone to join the Shimadas with their wall climb adventures and some mobility that's not on a cooldown. She's also got a teleport, and this teleport can take her directly to her allies, and it even works through walls. So she's happy to go, oh, ally over there, no problem. And because she has two forms of mobility, wall climb and teleport, she could potentially go, hey, I take more aggressive positions with wall climb, and then I always have the ability to get out, so it's really tough to punish my more aggressive positions because I can teleport through walls. Unlike Mercy, I don't have to like constantly track and make sure I have a path line to the allies that I want to escape with. I can through walls get away to them. Or she can flip it on her head and she can use her wall climb to, or excuse me, her teleport to go through a wall or just get to an ally who needs peel to help them out. And we're going to see she has another really good ability that she could pair with that. Here's her healing coming out. Talismans looks like they've got some level of homing, so probably not that challenging to aim. And we're going to see her Kunai. That's some nice offensive attack. It does have an increased damage multiplier that we see where it does increase damage to a headshot compared to the standard Overwatch multiplier. We sometimes see that with snipers. Not too worried. Heal the Zarya, attack the Moira, attack the Reaper. Fine, nothing too wild. And now we're going to see the next interesting ability here, where in comes some big Bastion tank damage, and her friends don't die. What gives? Well, here comes a Riptire, and her friends turn all spirit energy white and don't die. So she has an invulnerability cooldown. It looks like it lasts about 3/4 of a second, and it's an AoE, and a really generous AoE. She's able to get 3 people here, and it does include herself if she's in that AoE. So, hey, that's a pretty big deal. She can potentially peel for an ally that's in trouble by teleporting through a wall to get to them, and then giving them invulnerability. And then, if necessary, continue to heal from there, attack, etc. But that would be a lot of her kit, but that is a lot of power that she can potentially deliver right there. So that's what we see. Here's the teleport again. And then we're going to get to see her ult. And we've seen her ult actually right here before. Her ult does a couple things for us. We're going to see, out comes our Spirit Fox. And this is just like increasing the power of the brawl phase in a significant way. We know it gives everyone movement speed on her team. It's also going to increase their attack speed, their rate of fire. That's a little bit uncomfortable, truth be told, but that's okay. It's still definitely a buff. And then it's also going to decrease cooldown timers. So people cycle through their cooldowns faster. I don't believe we have numbers for that yet. We don't know if cooldowns come back 20% faster, 50% faster, what? But that is what we have. A nice power spike for the brawl phase if you're fighting in these gates here. And she can, at the other end, sort of use this as this nice push in with your ult here. And then when the opponents might go, okay, now we counter push as your ult is ending. No, I'm going to pop invulnerability for my team with her cooldown. So she's got some real power potential there, as well as some nice mobility. So we look at this. Here's the chart that came out, summarizes the abilities. Again, we've seen some pretty powerful combinations. You could potentially go ult Kitsune Rush into Protection Suzu, the invulnerability. You can swift step over to an ally into Protection Suzu. You can wall climb to get to additional places, to get to aggressive spots that you want, and then swift step away if you try to get punished for being in those positions. Quite a bit here. So is this just the most powerful thing ever? Is this going to be too powerful? And what are we going to do in Overwatch 2? Is just the beginning of massive power creep? Maybe. It might be. We did see that they had to nerf Sojourn from her original alpha days pretty quickly. That then took her out of play. She then came back in. We saw Junker Queen was very powerful in her beta 2 days, as well as the pro play owl stage. Basically became a must pick there. But it does look like they will be nerfing her. So is Kiriko going to have the same treatment? Just be too powerful out the gate and have to be nerfed? Probably, but I do think that it's likely that we will likely limit her throughput. When we look at the numbers, I suspect these abilities are just too good, and to make up for this, they've had to control sort of the throughput of her kit. The 3 obvious places to do that are with CD length. You can make CDs long, and then it's not such a big deal, but that just kind of feels bad. I suspect it's not that. If we see protection Suzu has a cooldown in less than 12 seconds, I would be surprised. It's certainly possible here. If we see Swift Step is less than 8 seconds, again, I'd be surprised. These things would get pretty powerful if some of these cooldowns came lower than that. But what I'd really think is more likely than long CDs is we're probably going to balance her by limiting either her throughput on damage or healing, or by, going, hey, that could be the numbers themselves are lower, or that could be the rate of fire is something where, hey, it takes a fair amount, you throw kunais, and then it's a bit before you can throw more there. Not like, oh, you have to wait seconds or anything, but just a low rate of fire. Some of the support I'd see for this is, you just have to do it to have any sort of balance to the hero's kit, but the increased projectile damage for critical suggests to me that you might need those crits to keep her in reasonable damage range. I'm just looking at this and I'm thinking, if we have like mercy levels of healing and BAP levels of damage, she's just going to be wildly powerful. I expect we're more looking at lower levels of damage or lower levels of healing, something closer to Zen than Mercy for amount of healing, if you're going to have a kit that has mobility and invulnerability in it. But what do you guys think? Do you look at this and say, does this here look fun to you? Does this here look balanced to you? Do you think if the numbers are low enough that it'll be okay? Or do you say, hey, she doesn't have a self-heal outside of the passive, maybe that's why it's okay? I don't think that's going to be a big deal when she can Swift Step away, two friends through walls. But you guys let me know what you're thinking in the comments down below. If you're enjoying the content, drop a like, consider subscribing for more thought-provoking Overwatch and Overwatch 2 analysis. I'll probably do some terribly wrong meta video in the next day or so make sure to be subscribed to see that, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Temporal out.